New Zealand is where we go next. Am I reading that properly? I want to make sure my eyes are working. Rocky joins us. Rocky, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hello, Ken. How are you?
I am living the dream. Good to be talking to you, sir. Where are you at in New Zealand?
I'm just in the South Island.
Oh, fantastic. Well, how can I help you?
Yeah. All right, so I've been working for a security firm for about 8 months now.
Mm-hmm.
In the first 7 months, I was contracted out to another client, and I absolutely loved every single minute of it. Unfortunately, that was a temporary position, and I've just been reassigned to another client, and that was my goal for the beginning of that job. And so ever since I started working for that new role, I've been having problems after problems after problems with my employer. So my question is knowing that this role only exists if I keep working for this company, how do I move on from it?
Okay. This is the role that you've always wanted.
Yes.
What's the role?
Essentially, it's de-escalating situations with people who are having a hard time in the justice system.
Okay. And I'm sorry, I don't quite fully understand that. Explain to me how that type of work is not available anywhere else in New Zealand.
It's because it's all hired to this company. It's all contracted to this company that I work for.
Okay, I see. So this is contracted to the government? So private company,
yes.
and then they're offering services to the government in this area.
That's correct.
Okay, got it. So you can't do it anywhere else.
That's correct.
Well, it's a tough one. That's a tough one. What are the nature of the problems you continue to have? What kind of problems are they?
So I've got a big list of them here. Breaching contract constantly, rostering me short notice without asking me, expecting me to know changes in procedure without telling me, not being trained properly, asking me to break the law at my expense of my welfare. HR is not responding, and I don't even know who I'm supposed to be reporting to.
Oh, this is an absolute nightmare. This is almost like if Alex and I wrote a screenplay based on all of the calls we get from people. This is everything, Amanda. Like, I don't know that this is like every call we've ever gotten about a horrible leader. Rocky's got them all in one company. So Rocky, I got to tell you, that's not supposed to make you feel bad. I'm just telling you, listen, all of these things are bad, but when they're asking you to do something illegal, it's done. It's over.
Yeah, and the issue is I actually really like the job. And
well, no, that's not true. That's not true. You like elements of the job, but eventually all this other crap you just listed out is going to make you hate this job. Do you see that coming?
I do, yes.
I understand Absolutely. What you're saying, but I really want to warn you here. I understand that the work itself you love, but all of those other circumstances, it is only a matter of time before you hate your job, begin to hate yourself, or maybe you get thrown in jail. Because if you knowingly do something illegal that they ask you to do, you're still culpable for that.
Yes, that's right.
Well, that's not an option. So,
no.
Describe for me briefly, and you don't have to go into the details for our audience, but I want you to describe the type of work you do. Describe the stuff, like what it is that you really like the job. What are you doing? Give me 5 or 6 things that you love about the job. Give me a task or some role. Explain that to me.
Yes, so it's a tricky one. So I essentially just go into situations where I have to de-escalate something from. I'm helping them through the justice system.
So let's call it this. I'm trying to help you say this. So you would say, I have to de-escalate high tension moments. Is that a good way of saying it?
That's right.
And you love that. What do you love about that?
So I like trying to make things easier for people that are going through a rough time.
Yeah. So you like
with the system.
Yeah, so you like solving people problems, yes?
That's correct, yeah.
You see how I simplified that? Do you like the pressure, or is it less about the pressure of the high tension and it's more, I like the construct, the discipline, the exercise of de-escalation?
I love all of that, everything you just said.
Okay, great. So do you see what I just started walking you through? You have to write down.
Yeah.
It's really important to write down so you can see it with your eyes, or you could type it up, but you need to visually get this stuff out of your head, and you create a description of what you really enjoy about the job. So that's just task and role focused. Now, once we get clear on that, we go, this is what I love. There are other ways to do that. I promise you there are. Maybe not in the specific environment that you're doing because of the contract with the government, but you can do that kind of work where you're dealing with complex human issues. You have to come in and analyze. You have to come in and calm. You have to come in and provide solutions and guide people through to a better place. Is that a decent way of describing it?
Yes, that's right. Yes.
You can find that somewhere else, and you're going to have to.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to last.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I know I'm right.
Yeah.
You can't keep this up.
It's something, yeah, I mean, it's just so disappointing, isn't it?
I know, it
it's hard
sucks.
to get into a position. And,
it sucks. Yeah. It sucks because you put a lot of effort, training, you hustled, you got the job, and on paper, it's freaking awesome. But then you got these idiot leaders that have created a truly toxic environment. Sometimes I wonder, Amanda, when people tell you, well, I'm in a toxic environment. Let me tell you something, folks. If anybody wants to know what toxicity is, Rocky's swimming in it. And listen, Rocky, you're going to have to mourn this a little bit. But the best way to recover after mourning it, like literally just be sad. Sucks. If it weren't for this and this, this would be great. But you got to own it. You got to heal from it. But then the best way to recover and restore yourself from it is to find that other places and go, this is the work that I love to do. And life is too short to try to just grin and bear it and put myself in potential legal peril just because I like the work. You got to find versions of that in other places. And I just gave you a job description that's fairly high level for you to be able to see other things. Because you know what it is that you love to do. We just described it. So now we go find that in other places. And you do your homework this time. You find a way to talk to people who work there. Find a way to talk to people who serve with or are contractors with this next organization. And you will be able to find out very quickly and very accurately if it is a healthy culture. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, man. Hey, listen, I've been there before. I want you to know that I thought I had my dream job when I was in my early 30s, and it was an absolute train wreck. And I walked around for 3 months trying to go, hey, this can't be right. This can't be right. And I was right. And so I quickly understood it's time to move on. The nightmare doesn't solve itself. We must remove ourselves from the nightmare, and I'm giving you permission to do it, Rocky. Thank you so much for listening across the globe. The best is yet to be, Rocky, I promise.